Hello, I'm Matt.
I'm Sonia.
And welcome to another episode of our Life in Podcast. And Sonia, as you know, we had another episode here planned, but I decided earlier today I'm going to swerve you because I think this will be an interesting idea. And what makes it more interesting is you had no idea it was coming.
No.
So let me go ahead and
Saving the surprise.
get out of my microphone here. How are you doing, Sonia?
Fine.
You are now my first contestant on the couple quiz show that I haven't yet to name. I actually was going to have a sign up here, but I didn't have time to do that, and plus it would have ruined a lot of surprise. How are you doing today? Are you ready to play this game?
I guess.
Alright, so what's going to happen here is I have 10 questions for you about me. If you get 5 or 6, there's 10 questions. If
How many?
you get 6 out of 10 right, you get a special prize, which I will announce later.
Yay.
So along the way, so you viewers know, what is going to actually happen is, while Sonia is going to answer these, keeping into the tradition of this podcast, I am still going to tell a little bit of story about these.
A story.
Yep. I felt like these questions pertain to stories that probably won't have a place in any other podcast, so I decided I'll do it here. So anyway, let's get going with question 1. What was the reason that I first moved to Louisiana?
Your mom wanted to take care of your grandpa.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, because he had Alzheimer's.
Ding, ding, ding. That is 100% correct. So yes, my grandfather, by the way, if you couldn't tell, this microphone is just a kid's toy. I'm sure you knew.
That rain and broke.
Yeah. My grandfather, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's by the time I was in 9th grade. My mother decided that there was no other person there to really watch after him once he was starting to get bad and things like that. Decided she was going to move us all down to Louisiana. What kind of pissed me off at the time was, no disrespect to my mother, she asked me and my sister if we wanted to move to Louisiana, but she kind of worded it in a rhetorical way, not that we didn't think she was actually serious until it happened. And for me, that left behind a lot of friends that I had literally just made, and other things up here that experiences and whatnot that I wasn't going to be able to have now. And as it turned out, that diagnosis of Alzheimer's might have been inaccurate as it is, but that's not something I'm going to get into right now. But Sonia, so far you have, let me mark this shit down.
I mean, that one was easy because your sister was in my grade.
1 point.
Whoa.
Alright. Question 2. What would I consider my most...
Excuse me.
The contestant just threw up.
No, I burped.
What would I consider my most embarrassing moment?
Are you serious? You have like 100.
What would I consider my most embarrassing moment? By the way, if you don't win, I get the prize.
I would have to say going to a gas station, hanging up your pants, forgetting them in the stall, and coming out basically butt-ass naked.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. That is 2 for 2. But in this case, I actually had 2 different answers because they're both equally as embarrassing. But seeing that Sonia had talked about it already, what we're going to talk about right now is the first story. When a hurricane was coming towards Louisiana while we were living there, we had evacuated and we had went up to my sisters who lived in South Carolina at the time. When we went up there, we basically drove through the night. We had left probably a little late also, and it was maybe about 3 in the morning. When we were in Georgia, we had to fill up gas, and I really, really had to poop. So I go into this gas station that we stop at, a 24-hour gas station, and I take off I pulled down my pants, get ready to do my business as it is. And I noticed the floor was just, like, really gross and sticky. So I was like, I don't want to get this on my pants, none of this stuff. So I took my pants off and hung them on the back of the door, like on a little hook on the back of the door. And obviously, because I didn't want to get that sticky shit on my feet, I put my shoes back on.
Sticky shit, huh?
Yeah, it was sticky and gross, and yeah, exactly, questionable. So I went ahead and I did my business. I washed my hands, and I go out to the store, and I'm thinking about picking up maybe a couple snacks and then paying for the gas. And I noticed it was goddamn cold in that place. This probably sounds familiar. And I looked down, and I had forgot my pants inside of the bathroom stall.
Did you even have any underwear on either?
No, I was butt-ass naked in the middle of that store. I'm sure if they pulled up the security camera footage, that would have given the employee some nightmares that night.
Wouldn't that be child porn?
Maybe at that time. Who knows? Does it count if it's accidental? Anyway, whatever.
No.
So I ran back in to the stall. I put on my pants and underwear, and I run back out. And my mom's like, we still have to fill up gas. I'm like, get out of here. Just leave. So we booked it, and we left, and I told her the story. And never went to that gas station again. Couldn't even tell you what part of Georgia it was in. But my other one is also in a gas station in Pennsylvania.
God.
It was when we were moving down to Louisiana the second time. And I went into the gas station I was with my family, my mom, my brother, sister, and it had been pouring rain outside. And I walk into the gas station, and the first thing I do right in front of other customers is I slip and I fall on my ass. That was bad enough, but as I'm standing up, I slip and fall face first.
Ow.
Yeah. But that's not the end of it. As I'm getting up for the second time here, my pants happen to just go into business for themselves and fall around my ankles, which happens way too often if you haven't noticed.
Get a belt!
Yeah, get a belt. In this case, the reason it happened was because I was falling, and they just kind of, I guess gravity took effect. And the things I distinctly remember was everybody trying not to laugh. But more importantly, this little kid just laughing his ass off, and his mother trying to tell him, stop it, that's rude, while she's also trying not to laugh. And then my brother goes over to my mom and is like, you should have saw it, Titanic here just capsized.
That's mean.
Yeah. But, so, those were the two answers. They were very embarrassing moments. I still find them hilarious to an extent.
I can't believe they were both at gas stations.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, time for question 3. Hold on, what the hell is question? Okay. What incident happened in the hot tub at Daytona Beach when I was on vacation?
Oh, okay, yeah. You saw a girl that you thought was cute because you were a prepubescent boy. Well, you, went down under the water and you came back up and your nose started bleeding.
She is 3 for 3, folks. As it turns out, that is correct. But what happened in this case is I was trying to impress this girl, thinking she was about my age, and I was probably, 10? And I was trying to impress this girl, as seems to be a running theme with me as well. And the thing I thought would impress her was going underwater inside of this hot tub. This hot tub, to lay it out for you, was adjacent to the pool that we had. We were swimming in. It was at our hotel. So I went under the water, and I come back up, and she's just like, "Oh my God, your nose is bleeding." I'm like, "What?" And sure enough, my nose is gushing. Not just a normal, trickle of blood. It was full, going down my chest and everything. And her sisters, I think they were her sisters, helped me go up to their hotel room so that they could get me, towels or whatever hell else I need. So while I struck out hard with some other little girl I was trying to impress, so while I'm going up to this hotel room, there's just these 2 teenage girls in bikinis that were helping me out. So you know what? It worked itself out.
Sure.
But you are 3 for 3. Only need 3 more, and you win the prize.
Uh-huh.
You still mad at me for switching the episode?
Not mad.
Question 4. How old was I when I had my first crush?
8?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, because you never discuss an age with me.
Oh, unfortunately, that is your first incorrect answer.
Because it's a shitty question.
I was actually, when I had my first crush, all of 5 years old.
I was thinking kindergarten, but
Yep.
I didn't know what age that would be.
Obviously, I'm not going to name the girl, but I kind of pointed out to her, I'm like, yeah, I like you. I think you're cute. You know, very awkward kid shit. Well, I wouldn't say we pretended to be boyfriend or girlfriend or anything. We used to hang out a lot underneath the monster truck and things like that.
I had a husband, I think in kindergarten. It was either pre-K or kindergarten.
And there was actually another girl around that time when I was 5 or 6. The one I ended up going to the fun night with. I used to live near her. I didn't have a crush on her yet, but I did by the time we went to that fun night.
Yeah.
Episode will be linked somewhere on the screen. Anyway, that is your first strike. So, on to question 5. You think you can do this?
Yeah. That was just a stupid question.
How old was I when I went on my first date?
You never really went on a date.
Is that your final answer?
No. We're 16?
So close, but wrong.
These questions suck!
I was actually 15.
Are you fucking kidding me? I should get at least half a point.
Nah, I don't do half points, sorry. But I was 15, and it was actually something I did briefly talk about in the episode about how we met. It was a girl that actually ended up dating a friend of mine. I still consider her a date because we spent all day together. We went out to eat and shot the shit most of the day. But, yeah. At the end of the day, she suggested to me, hey, you probably would actually get along really well with my friend, which was not the response I was looking for, but...
Whatever.
So, yes, you got that wrong. So
Half a point.
No half points.
Half a point.
So now we are moving on to question 6, which won't really have a story, but it's still a question.
Better be better than the last 2.
What was my favorite restaurant when I lived in Louisiana?
I know this one. Hold on. Rice Palace?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Wrong.
No, I'm not.
Now, Rice Palace is good. Shout out to Rice Palace because they have amazing steaks. But
Wait a minute. It was Macaroni Girl.
you're still wrong.
I am not wrong! He's fucking cheating!
I wrote my... Hey, you can look at this. I wrote my answers down ahead
Yeah,
of time.
but those are the only ones you talk about, so you fucking cheated.
Johnny Carino's was the name of the restaurant,
No.
which was also an Italian restaurant that used to be in Lafayette area.
You told me you ate there like once. You always talk about Macaroni Grill and Rice Palace.
I ate there more than once.
You never talk about this one. That question don't fucking count. You cheated.
Honorable mention to Zeus, which was also amazing down there.
Cheater.
Well, you're striking out here.
I'm not striking out nothing. You cheated. Fucking
You
Joey
need-
Correcchio. He don't even talk about that one.
You need to answer 3 of the last 4 questions correctly. Oh, Kramer adjustment. 3 of the last 4 answers correctly to win. I also need my microphone back.
If they're cheating questions, this don't fucking count. Cheater.
Ladies and gentlemen, you might be seeing the end of our marriage on camera.
Yeah, okay, no. You're just a liar and a cheater.
What one thing did both the high school I attended in Louisiana and shit? Someone beep that. The high school I attended both in Louisiana and New York have in common. What one thing did both of these high schools have in common?
Nothing?
There is something. It's probably not as grand as you think, but there is something.
They had dances? Their middle school and Bamford were together?
The second one's wrong, but because the first one is a technicality, I will give that to you, but it's not the right answer. So
you never told me this. You're asking me questions that are like blind. That's not fair.
Okay, so yes, both schools had dances, I guess you could say, in their own regards, but what school doesn't? In this case,
Some probably don't.
In this case, the answer was actually the mascot was the same.
You never told me that.
No, I told you that.
No, you have not. You are cheating up a storm.
Because she got away on a technicality, I will give her a point.
What's the technicality?
Because technically speaking, you are right. They both had dances. It's just not what my answer was.
I've heard of some places they don't have like dances or anything.
Does that count? Do you think that counts? Leave that in the comments below. Maybe I'll retract
that. That one don't count. The fucking 15 to 16 one. Half credit. You probably were like half 15.
I'll retract that point in post.
15 and a half.
Anyway, so the next question. What was my first concert?
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Haven't you only gone to one? Because you've been to wrestling events, but concerts...
Technically, I've been to 2, which we'll get into.
Metallica.
Incorrect. And no, I'm joking.
I'm out!
She's right this time. It is Metallica. Metallica was the answer. In 2008, which it's hard to believe that's been that long ago, me and a friend of the channel, so I'll call him out, Ty, we had went out to see Metallica in Baton Rouge, and I remember coming home that night and not being able to hear a fucking thing.
That's a good concert.
We were yelling at each other all the way home, and we weren't even in a good seat. We were way up in the fucking...
Hey, did you see that deer? What?
We stopped at IHOP on the way home.
An IHOP?
Yeah, and it was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we were closer to where Ty lives. And we went in there, and we sat down, and shortly after we sat down came all these people, which had to have been at the concert, because most of them were a lot of them were wearing Metallica shirts.
That's because a lot of the places aren't open, because concerts usually go until about 11 o'clock at night, and by the time you're there, it's like midnight, so it's like not many places are open.
Yeah, but most of them were wearing the Metallica shirts, and some others were with those people, so very clearly I believe they went to the concert, and they all came in, like 20 fucking people, besides me and Ty, came into that restaurant. And that poor waitress, it was just like 2 waitresses on, because it was the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And nobody would have expected that.
Isn't IHOP open until like 2 in the morning now?
IHOP's usually 24 hours, as far as I know.
I know Denny's. Some Denny's are.
Waffle Houses are too. Shout out to Denny's and Waffle House if you want to sponsor us.
I have like a side story. I went to Mayhem Fest when it was in Buffalo, and our food of choice was Arby's, because that was the closest thing to the concert arena. Because I would not choose Arby's other day.
No, Arby's sucks. Unless they want to sponsor us. Arby's, shout out.
Hey, their curly fries are good. And they used to have chicken, like popcorn chicken, but they got rid of it. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know, I say that knowing full well that this video will get like 11 views. So...
Whatever.
So we are at 5 points, and you have 2 questions left. Sounds like you might be winning that prize, Sonia.
Don't I have only one answer, or 1 point remaining before I win?
So you have a 50-50 chance here. Next question. How old did I think I was going to be before I got married?
Is that a trick question? Because I thought you said you would never get married.
Is that what you think?
I'm pretty sure that's what you said. You're like, oh, I'd never get married. Or you'd be 30.
Are you sure you don't want to go with the first answer?
That is my full answer.
The correct answer was never. And yes, that was a trick question, but you got it right. So, Sonia has officially won the prize. But for fun, we are still going to ask the 10th question.
Yeah.
But, not getting too much into it, yes, I used to believe after a certain time. Belief, yes, whatever I just said.
You just said believe instead of believe.
What? Whatever. I used to believe that I would never get married. I used to think, actually, by the time I reached 20, that I probably wouldn't even ever date a girl because I viewed myself as undateable.
2 years later, it happened.
Probably not even 2 years. I was 21 when I met you. No, I was 22.
You're 22. You turned
right.
23 our first year together.
So, yeah, I was, needless to say, by the time I met Sonia, I was kind of in that, hopeless emo phase, I guess you could say.
No, depressed.
I was depressed, yeah. But I definitely did not think I had any shot with anything close to resembling a woman. Unless you count... Anyway. I was going to make a joke that's probably inappropriate, so...
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I was, like, the same way at that point. Like, yeah, I had a couple boyfriends before that, but I was like, I'm probably never going to get married at this point. Because they're all shitty.
Well, look who's wrong. Both of us.
Whoa.
But you weren't wrong on that question. You have won the prize, like I said. But for shits and giggles, we are going on to that last question. Where did I go on my first vacation ever?
Your first... You vacation too much. Me, I've never vacationed. It's either Daytona or Myrtle. Fuck it, I'm gonna say Myrtle.
Incorrect. It was actually, you ready for this shit? Louisiana was the first vacation we ever took.
Really? How old were you?
We were only all of us were only 6 years old driving a van down to Louisiana.
I'd see it.
I was only 6 years old. And we had drove down to Louisiana because my grandfather had already lived there. And my mom and my dad, who was with us at the time, we considered it a vacation when we drove down there. So I consider it a vacation. We stayed... I don't want to say we stayed with my grandfather because for the life of me, I don't remember staying there. I remember staying in a hotel, I believe. I could be wrong. What I do remember is seeing two crawfish fight to the death. Anyway.
Alright, what's my prize?
Alright, Sonia, congratulations. You have won the prize of a $25 Amazon gift card.
Whoa.
Which I really wanted, so it sucks that you won. Oh well.
Come on now, I know you better than you know yourself.
Alright,
you
Sonia.
You cheated a couple times.
So, what did you think of that quiz?
Funny.
I
honestly thought I was gonna get them all, but you cheated.
I thought it was an interesting idea, something a little different that's still tied into our show. But I promise next week it will be back to normal. We are going to be doing Jobs Part 2, which both of us have a lot to talk about still.
You more than me, but yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed that episode, and do the same, all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share, put a finger up your butthole, I don't care, but have a great day.
Bye.
Hey everybody, this is Matt here. I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And for another video, go ahead and click one of those videos here in whatever corner it's in. Thanks for watching.